the Hedgehog just crossed over with the DC universe. Guys, Sonic the Hedgehog. I'm talking Sonic the Hedgehog literally raced the Flash. This is an unbelievable story. We gotta talk about this. I'm gonna be going so deep and detailed into this because this was an amazing story. Let's get into it. It starts off with Sonic and friends chilling out, eating chili dogs as usual. This is a peaceful picnic that's abruptly interrupted by the ominous arrival of Darkseid looming above them in a colossal mobile ship coming out of a portal in the sky. And first off, what is it about villains and monsters in these universes having satellites and ships with their faces on it? Like, the ego is crazy coming from bad guys who regularly lose. But anyways, as Sonic finishes his chili dog, our friends quickly realize the apocalyptic threat when moments later, Darkseid's parademons swarm out from above like locusts. And anybody who has seen Darkseid's parademons, y'all know how the swarms be. As the swarm attacks, Sonic effortlessly dodges the incoming threat, annoyed that he can't ever seem to have a moment of peace. Now, surprisingly, Sonic, Tails, and Amy are all holding their own against the parademons. Like, they are really putting in work. This was shocking considering even the Justice League can sometimes struggle depending on the size of the swarm. The parademon swarm is starting to become too numerous and overwhelming. So Sonic takes Tails and takes Amy and he gets the heck out of Dodge. Meanwhile, on Angel Island, we see Knuckles soloing. Guys, Knuckles is taking no prisoners. Again, very surprising seeing the Sonic characters handle themselves against parademons. Darkseid also sees this and realizes that the Master Emerald Knuckles is protecting has the power to neutralize what he's in search for. So he orders Darkseid to destroy it. Now, despite Darkseid's warning that destroying the Master Emerald would significantly drain the ship's energy reserves, Darkseid remains unfazed, saying he's not going to repeat himself. And while Knuckles is down below crushing heads, proving he is that guy, the remaining invaders start abruptly retreating as a blood-red glow ignites the sky above. Standing on top of the Master Emerald, Knuckles instinctively knows what's about to happen. He braces for the inevitable, and as he braces for the inevitable, Superman is seen flying towards him in the distance. This moment perfectly encapsulates classic Knuckles, the Knuckles I know and love, who is unwavering in his dedication to protecting the Master Emerald, which is what keeps Angel Island afloat. But the laser shoots down as Superman swoops in, rescuing Knuckles as the Master Emerald is destroyed and the island goes down. And this right here just shows off who Darkseid is and his apathy towards other living creatures. Just like that, Angel Island is destroyed. The Master Emerald is destroyed. As Superman flies Knuckles to safety, we shift to Sunset City where more parademons are swarming. Amy is horrified as she witnesses the apocalyptic assault. Sonic then takes off ahead of Tails and Amy and ends up running into the Flash. And this is one of the best parts and the most iconic parts of the story. I love this part. It is game recognizing game with these two. Flash mistaken Sonic for Crackle, who is another speedster in DC made of radio frequencies who sort of looks like Sonic, but Flash's mistake is a clever way to reference the larger corners of the DC universe. But I love how this story blends these two worlds. The dynamic between Sonic and Flash is awesome. As Sonic tells Flash he can help out if he can keep up, to which Flash responds zooming ahead of him saying that he is speed personified. And then Sonic speeds ahead of him saying that he is speed perfected. This is the perfect embodiment of Sonic's cocky yet endearing nature, which is a personality trait that the Flash also shares.
Hold these, would you? Sucker.
And I love how the book just shows this. Like, I love the artwork. I love the dynamic between Sonic and Flash. Although their banter is competitive between each other, instantly there's mutual respect. This moment right here, this will go down as one of the most memorable crossover interactions in DC Comics. The time Sonic met Flash. Meanwhile, while they're running around taking out parademons, up above in the infested skies of Sunset City, Silver and Green Lantern are effortlessly putting down parademons. And I like how they use John Stewart Green Lantern for this, as he is my favorite Green Lantern in the comics. Silver is using his telekinetic powers to take out parademons, and John's curiosity about Silver's origins leads to a humorous dialogue when he asks Silver if he's a metahuman, and Silver's just like, nope, I'm just a hedgehog, bruh. And John's like, oh, of course, just a hedgehog. We see Tails and Amy run into Cyborg and Wonder Woman. We see Batman meeting Shadow, both taking down parademons together. This is tight. And I noticed how every other character had dialogue exchange with each other. If you're paying attention, every other character talked to each other, while Batman and Shadow simply let their actions speak to each other. These are two characters who are filled with few words, but they're both driven by purpose. If there were any two characters that had the most parallelism out of everyone, it would be Batman and Shadow. On the opposite end of the city, we see Darkseid's son, Kalibak, threatening to slaughter every animal and every hero who dares to oppose Darkseid. As he charges ahead, Knuckles comes out of nowhere and knocks the out of Kalibak. Knuckles sent Kalibak crashing down. No one is immune. No one is just taking a Knuckles punch. And I'm just wondering, bro, has Kalibak ever won a fight? Like, ever? Because every time I see this clown, he's getting taken out in like 0.2 seconds.
I can't believe he's blood.
Anyways, though, he gets back up and he's like, I hardly felt that.
Stop the cap.
You hardly felt that, and you're getting up. Like, he punched you so hard, you crashed down, you flew some feet, and you're getting back up, talking about you hardly felt that. He talking about he hardly felt that. And then Superman comes down, putting full weight on this dude, crashing down, and he's like, did you feel that? Did you feel that? It's crazy. This is just crazy. Superman tells Knuckles that he softened him up for him, and I just like that aspect. That's how Superman is. Eventually, everyone comes together. Gang meets gang. Yeah, I love this. Look at this. Look at the artwork. Look at Flash leaning on Batman's shoulder. This is so freaking cool. The story slows down right here, and it gives us an unbelievable scene. Sonic and friends meeting the Justice League. And I love everything about this, especially the way it's drawn. It's like Sonic Classic Collection meets DCAU Justice League. I love how the different personalities of the league matches with Sonic and friends. Obviously the speedsters, Sonic and Flash would go together. Tails and Cyborg, the tech guys, they would go together. Superman and Knuckles, that was one I didn't see coming. I wouldn't have thought of that, but I like it. Same thing with Silver and Green Lantern. Wonder Woman and Amy Rose, I see that. I like that a lot. And Batman and Shadow, these are two characters that were cut from the same cloth. I like how neither one of them says anything when introductions are being made. And what I love most about this is that the character interactions are a genuine delight, capturing the essence of both franchises in a way that feels almost surreal, like a fan's dream brought to life. Yet despite the seemingly unlikely combination of characters, the art and narrative work so harmoniously that the comic becomes incredibly immersive from the start. I couldn't believe how immersed I was in this. Reading this was like watching an animated movie brought to life. I think my favorite part of this whole comic is when the teams are together discussing a plan of action. Cyborg and Wonder Woman give a brief explanation on who Darkseid is and the urgency of the mission. Silver deduces that Darkseid is after the Chaos Emeralds, and Green Lantern thinks if he gets those, he could fuel his ship and destroy countless worlds across every multiverse in search of the anti-life equation. Batman says if he gets the Chaos Emeralds, he could simply just manifest the anti-life equation. While things are still being discussed, Shadow impatiently walks away, stating he doesn't have time for this and he prefers to work alone. Now, here's my favorite part. Superman attempts to reason with him, but Batman sees him and realizes this is a job for him. When Shadow walks away, Batman walks after him, and we get a moment in private between the two characters. Batman sees himself in Shadow and asks him who died in his life. Who did he fail to save? The question shocks Shadow, and as he asks Bruce, how would he know? Batman opens up to Shadow about his parents, and he sees the same unresolved pain in Shadow, the kind of anger that never leaves you. And after a long pause, Shadow says her name was Maria. He talks about how she was gunned down, how he was powerless to stop it, mirroring how Bruce was powerless to stop the man who killed his parents. And this is why Batman and Shadow are so dark and aggressive and oftentimes misunderstood. Both of them lived their lives trying to stop the same evil that took away their loved ones. I love how Batman talks to Shadow, highlighting his compassion as a character while at the same time telling Shadow he is an asset to the team and they need him. This shows off Batman's character arc, knowing what it's like to prefer working alone, but knowing the value of teamwork and knowing he can't do everything alone. Shadow hears this and decides to come back, telling Batman he better be worth the trouble. Now, the plan is Tails and Cyborg are gonna go work on a tracking system Tails has been developing in his lab to track down the Chaos Emeralds. While they're doing that, everyone else is gonna split up to see if they can find the emeralds themselves, because while Tails and Cyborg are refining and building a tracker, Darkseid and his forces are conquering. So everyone goes off in pairs. The Justice League is going to pair up with the locals to split up while staying in communication and find the Chaos Emeralds. Teams and plans are set. Tails goes off with Cyborg and they exchange ideas on the way. Knuckles goes off with Superman, and I really like this. Again, I would never have put these two together, but it works. Superman shares his origins with Knuckles, recognizing Knuckles' pain in just having lost Angel Island. If anybody knows what it's like to lose an entire world, it's Superman. Through the dialogue exchange between the two characters, Knuckles actually gains a better understanding of Superman, and his respect for him grows. Amy and Wonder Woman take to the high skies talking about Wonder Woman's invisible jet, and Batman and Shadow are on the ground riding their motorcycles side by side in silence. As for Sonic and Flash, they're running side by side, and Flash is shocked to learn Sonic's speed is natural, unlike Flash, who gained his power from a freak accident. Their conversation, however, is cut short though, because they run right into Darkseid in South Island, who's holding a Chaos Emerald. He already has one of the Chaos Emeralds. Like, dang, and the issue ends right there on a cliffhanger. Darkseid has a Chaos Emerald. There is so much to like about this story. I liked how, first off, it just jumped right into action from the very beginning. I love the design of the characters. I love how Knuckles feels like his classic, no-nonsense, kind of dark and broody self, unlike the idiot he is in most modern Sonic medias like Sonic Boom.
Not now, Amy. I'm busy.
Oh, please don't cut me, Knuckles. Today turned out a lot different than I expected.
I like classic Knuckles. I like the Knuckles from Sonic 3. And with Darkseid destroying the Master Emerald and sending Angel Island to the depths of the ocean, this book establishes the gravity of his threat very well. Unlike Dr. Eggman, whose pride and penchant for theatricality often undermines his ambitions, Darkseid's ruthlessness is absolute, plain and simple. He is entropy, he is death, he operates without hesitation and without remorse, fully committed to achieving his goals through brute force and destruction. The contrast between Darkseid and Eggman is stark. And also what's interesting is seeing Darkseid on a Thanos type quest. Thanos searched for Infinity Stones to remake the universe in his image. And now Darkseid is searching for what? 7, 8 Infinity Stone type objects called Chaos Emeralds. That's interesting how they did that. And I think it'll also be interesting to see what role Dr. Eggman plays in this story, because he wasn't in this first issue. He was mentioned, but we haven't seen him yet. But I can't imagine Eggman working with Darkseid. These are two totally different characters in every way possible. It would make more sense for me for Eggman to be working with Sonic in the Justice League. Maybe reluctantly, but regardless, I can't wait to see what they do next. This book made me so happy while reading it. It's incredibly immersive. I remember last year when they had that little animated short as Sonic dressing up as Batman in Gotham City. And I thought there was gonna be a Shadow and Batman crossover, or at least a Sonic the Hedgehog and Batman crossover. But they completely exceeded expectations, making a Sonic and Friends crossover with the Justice League, fighting Darkseid. And what I love most about this book is how it's not like a kiddie book. Like, this book is taken very seriously with the characters. This is the real Justice League. This is the real Darkseid. Like, he's actually destroying. This isn't like a kidified version of these characters. No, it's taken seriously. This is like real DC Comics meeting Sonic the Hedgehog. Guys, if you don't own this book, I would highly recommend picking it up. 10 out of 10, just starting off. This issue was a 10 out of 10. And I can tell that this series is gonna be a great run. No pun intended. I saw some cover art online where Batman looked like he was fighting Metal Sonic. This looks dark, heavy metal-ish, edgy, and awesome. This first issue delivered everything a fan of these franchises could hope for. And again, I can already tell it's gonna get better and better from here. Batman fighting Metal Sonic. Again, wondering how Dr. Eggman is gonna play into this, because I'm sure he's gonna have his own agenda. This whole thing is crazy. Like this, I can't believe any of this. This is all crazy. And this will be Sonic and Flash. That's gonna be one of the most talked about crossover interactions ever, ever. That time when Sonic met the Flash and they raced against each other. Guys, let me know what you think down below. Let me know who you really think is faster, Flash or Sonic. Both of them have amazing speed feats. Flash has gone so fast, he literally went back in time. You know, he's made universal mistakes with how fast he's run, but Sonic has made some mistakes of his own with how fast he runs. It's crazy. I'm really enjoying this. I hope you guys like this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.